Hi everybody and welcome back to my modeling channel. So today we're gonna start a 737-800 MAX from Zvezda. So let's open the box and see what we have inside. So our box is composed with a plastic bag in a white color, and then we have a couple of screws. So the first screw, we have a very fine engravement. It's composed with the two parts of the fuselage. It's a sandwich part, and you also have the opening for the passenger windows, which is a pretty good thing, as you can have that options. Then the second sprue, we have our wings, top part and bottom part of the wing. That's pretty straightforward. Then the third sprue is mainly what's going to make the difference between, I would say, a MAX and the NG. So we'll have the engines, of course, for the MAX, the tail cone, which is different on the regular 737, and of course all the LEAP engines are different. I think as well the horizontal stabilizer is a little bit different than the other ones, and we have a different type of winglets. So a very nice quality kit so far, very fine engravement and lots of details, especially when you see this type. We have the fan are in two parts, the fan blades, and for this type of kits it's the first time I can see this. I didn't have that on the other Zvezda kit or 320 or other 737. So it's a nice detail that you can work with. Then here is the last part, which cover the landing gear and the carriage. You also have the winglets, but for the 737 NG, and you have the 800 and basically the new type of winglets as well. So you can have both options and without winglets. So you can keep those parts as a spare if you have other kits that you want to details, and of course you have also the flaps fairing and the last part, the rudder basically of on the tail. So that's enough for the gray parts. Now we're coming for the clear parts. Clear parts, you have the options of the two cockpit, you know, with the upper windows on the earlier version of the 800 and the new windows. You also have all the passenger windows and the landing lights. We, as every kit, Zvezda provide you a stand. So I normally keep them for other kits. Sometimes it's very handy. Now we coming to the last part of the kit, which is the instruction sheet. It's a little booklet, A4 format, basically, and we have basically 2 pages. It's pretty straightforward. All the information, you know, they give you even the info on how much weight you need to put on the nose, the build of the engines, type of winglets, and the possibility of making the airplane airborne or on the ground. Now we're gonna move up toward the decal sheet. So the decal sheet is in color. It's an A5 format, and it's coming with the Boeing livery. And you have also the decal sheet description. Here is now the decal sheet of that 737. I'm gonna use some part like the emergency exit row or the marking on the engines, the outflow valve as well are the part I'm gonna use. Otherwise, I'm not gonna use much of this, as I'm gonna work and I'm planning to do that aircraft as a livery from Cayman Airways. They have apparently the 737 MAX, and they have that new color. So those decals are coming from Nazca decal, and I've been working with Gaston a couple of times in the past. Did quite a few orders from him, and I have to say that his decals are some of my favorite ones. I really like to work with those decals. They're very easy to handle, but you will see a little bit later during the build, especially the decaling process. So enough of talking, and let's start building.
So we're gonna start this model by preparing the wings. So first we have to remove all the extra plastic on the wings and the wheel well. Then we're gonna glue the wheel well together. Those are composed of basically 3 parts, and then we're gonna add basically the wings on top of it. Then we're gonna start working on a fuselage. Of course, there is a little bit of a preparation. Then what we are going to do is to glue all the passenger windows on the aircraft. I will add some putty later on, as I'm using normally decals for the windows. After that, I will put the nose wheel well, and then add some modeling paste to use that as a ballast for the front. Then I will prepare the tail cone of the 737 MAX, which is a little bit different. So you can see on the fuselage you have 2 different type of tail cone. Basically, you can do the classic and the MAX. And after that, we're gonna prepare the horizontal stabilizer. There is a little bit of a preparation on the parts, and then just glue them together. So after that, we are going to finish. Basically, I'm gonna add and prepare the tail cone on that aircraft and glue it, and then of course we're gonna start putting the putty on the and covering all the panel lines and with some putty. So for this, of course, I use the classic white and gray Tamiya putty, and I will put it of course all around the winglets as well. I mean the wings initially, and later on I'll prepare the winglets and put it around the winglets. And now we are going to prepare the engine fan and the winglets. So there was not a lot of preparation on those parts, just a little bit of filling together, and then we're going to be able to glue them together. So the winglets are in 2 parts on that model. So after that, we'll do the fan blades, and luckily I have to say that that Zvezda kit provides you with a lot of details on those fans, if I have to compare to other aircraft. Then what I will do, I will cover up all the passenger windows as well, and the rest of the panel lines and the top of the fuselage. All the little gaps will be filled up with some Tamiya putty. And of course, when it's dried out, it's gonna be the long and painful work of removing all the extra putty. So but I have to say that with the fitting of the Zvezda kit, everything is going very smooth, and it's much faster than what I have to do on other regular kits of some different brands. Now that our wings are ready, we're going to do a little bit of a preparation basically to be able to glue our winglets on those wings. I had to say that was just a little bit of fiddling around and removing some extra putties, and then it was quite an easy task to do. The main thing was to be able to get the proper dihedra and the proper alignment, but nothing major that we had to do. After that, I went back, and of course I had to sand down again still some extra putty and make sure that all the surface were pretty smooth. And then I decided to glue the wings to the fuselage itself. So for this, nothing really major. Everything was quite easy. Everything went pretty smooth. After that, filling the gaps for the wing roots and the underbelly, and that didn't take much of a time, of course. And then of course after that we'll have to sand the extra putty. I'll also add this on the junction for our winglets, and when it dried, of course, we'll start again with sanding down and removing the extra putty. So we're now going to start working a little bit more on the engines, so there will be a little bit of a preparation of the parts. Then we're gonna assemble basically the main engine body, and I realized later on that I did some mistakes as well. I should have been more careful reading the instructions, as I should have add as well the turbine. So after that, while it's drying, I'll add some extra putty once again on the underbelly, just finishing the extra, the little work, and make sure that I had a pretty nice surface. And of course, once it's dry, we removed everything. After that, it was time to add the flaps fairing, and there, nothing major. I mean, the plastic was very smooth, and it's quite easy, as you can see. The task was not something major. Now time to go for the paint booth, and for that we're going to start painting the wings. Initially I use a very light grey color for those wing roots, and I'll be painting basically all the wings, the engine pylons, and the horizontal stabilizer using that light grey color. After that I painted basically the fan disc with a matte black, and then the leading edge of those fans I used some enamel paint, and now we are going to continue the preparation of the engine. So there is a little bit of preparation on the parts, and then we're gonna do the final assembly. So I'll add the fan disc just at the entry of the main combustion chamber, and then after that we'll prepare and we'll assemble basically the body around basically the combustion chamber and the fan and the intake. Now that the engines are almost ready, we're gonna add some masking tape to those wings. So basically we're gonna cover up all the wing and just a portion of the winglets, and let the leading edge of course apparent, and then we're gonna start painting the leading edge. We also do the engine mounts, of course, as I mentioned earlier. We're gonna protect those as well, and then we're gonna be able to continue the paint. So what we will do next is we're gonna paint the leading edge of the wings, and of course the stab, and on the fin as well. There is just a little bit of the leading edge on the fin is always a metallic paint. And after that I'm gonna start painting my engines in a glossy white color, just all around, and then we're gonna start painting the whole fuselage. So I used a very thin white color this time, and it took me quite a while. Actually, I had to do a few layers of white, glossy white color from Tamiya, and so it took a little bit longer than normal. But I have to say that the result was very smooth and very nice toward the end. So now we're gonna work on the painting basically a little bit extra for the undercarriage. And I have to say that during the download of the movie, I don't know what happened, but I lost, unfortunately, the part when I'm starting decaling the aircraft. So you'll just have the basically the end of it, where I put just the panel lines and some basically the decals used directly from the kit. So now I'm preparing and finishing the undercarriage. I'm gluing now the brake units, and then we'll do the gear doors, followed by the tires. This will take a little bit of fiddling, but it was, honestly, I have to say that the parts are really amazing. I mean, those 737 undercarriage are not that well detailed with other brands, and I have to say that I've been very happy to work on those ones. If you want to put the little extra and some wires and this, you can get a really nice result. So After that, of course, now we're gonna work on the main the nose wheel gear, and after that, well, we're gonna do the final assembly on that gear. So it's now time to add basically the undercarriage. So what I do is I initially put just a little bit of glue and attach them to the fuselage, and after that I'll put them on a stand and let the glue dry before I put the other struts, just to be able to have the gear in a proper position. And after that, as you can see, we will be able to add the struts. We're now going to put the last antennas and rotating beacons as well, and we're going to paint them as well, as we are already in position. And now we're going to do the final touch-up, basically, where I'm going to add also the horizontal stabilizer, and I'm using some micro crystal clear just to do replicate the landing gear. Now we're going to do the emergency exit decals with the panels on the wings, and those are provided by the Zvezda kit. So yes, as I mentioned earlier, I had some mixed up and I lost some of those decals basically when I was putting the decal of Cayman Airways. So I do apologize for that, and, but unfortunately those type of mistakes happen when you have too many videos that you're doing in the same time. So now we're finishing the engines, and the last part will be to add those engines on the wing of that 737, and we're finishing the model at the moment. So this is the final result of that 737-800 MAX from Cayman Airways. I hope you enjoy that build with me. I have to say that I really enjoy that little kit. It's a really a very decent kit at a very good price. So if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you soon for another build video. Thank you for watching.